Hello and welcome to Audiobooks in Minutes. Do you ever feel like you're talking but no one is really listening? That your ideas get overlooked even when you know they're good? Do you find yourself in unnecessary arguments or feel like you could be more liked, more influential, both at work and in your personal life? If you've ever nodded yes to any of that, you're not alone. For nearly a century, people have struggled with these exact same human problems. And nearly a century ago, a man named Dale Carnegie wrote a book that provided the answers. A book that has since sold over 30 million copies and changed countless lives. That book is How to Win Friends and Influence People. This isn't just the book about being nice. It's a practical guide to understanding human nature. It's about learning the undeniable secret that the most successful people in the world operate on a different frequency. They know how to connect, how to make people feel valued, and in doing so, they open doors that remain closed for others. By listening to this summary, you will gain a powerful toolkit. You will learn the fundamental principles to become more likable, to win people over to your way of thinking without resentment, and to become a true leader. This book feels like it was written just for you because at its heart, it's about fulfilling the deepest need every single one of us has, the need to feel important. And it will show you how to give that gift to others. Let's begin with the core idea of this entire book. Imagine two fishermen. One throws bare hooks into the water, hoping a fish will be interested in what he wants. The other takes the time to learn what the fish actually likes to eat and uses that as bait. Who do you think catches more fish? It's a simple analogy, but it captures the revolutionary heart of Dale Carnegie's work. For so long, we've approached the world from our own perspective. We talk about what we want, what we need, what we think is right. We try to get people to do things by demanding, criticizing, or arguing, and it rarely works. The core idea of this book is a profound shift in perspective. Stop thinking about what you want. Start thinking about what the other person wants. True influence isn't about manipulation or forcing your will. It's about understanding the other person's desires, their motivations, their sense of self-worth. It's about awakening an eager want in them. When you make someone feel heard, understood, and important, they become genuinely interested in you and what you have to say. They want to help you, to work with you, to be around you. This principle is the golden thread that runs through every single lesson in this book. It matters because it transforms every interaction from a potential conflict into an opportunity for connection. It's the difference between pushing a rope and gently guiding it. This book gives you the tools to be that guide. Now, let's break down the essential concepts structured just as Carnegie laid them out. Part 1. Fundamental techniques in handling people. The book starts with 3 bedrock principles. Think of these as the foundation upon which everything else is built. The first principle is this: don't criticize, condemn, or complain. Carnegie tells us that criticism is futile because it puts a person on the defensive and makes them strive to justify themselves. It wounds a person's precious pride, hurts their sense of importance, and arouses resentment. He reminds us that people are not creatures of logic, but creatures of emotion, bristling with prejudices, and motivated by pride and vanity. Any fool can criticize, condemn, and complain, and most fools do. But it takes character and self-control to be understanding and forgiving. Imagine your colleague Mark messes up an important report. The natural reaction might be to call him into your office and say, "Mark, this report is full of errors. What were you thinking? This is completely unacceptable." How does Mark feel? Attacked, defensive. He'll either make excuses, blame someone else, or resent you. Now imagine a different approach. You sit down with him and say, "Mark, I know you worked hard on this report. The section on market analysis was particularly thorough. I've made a few notes on areas we might need to double check for accuracy. Let's review them together." You've addressed the same problem, but you haven't condemned the person. You've condemned the action, and you're offering to help fix it. The takeaway? Resist the immediate urge to criticize. Choose understanding. You'll get far better results and preserve the relationship. The second fundamental technique is give honest and sincere appreciation. Notice the words here, honest and sincere. This is not about flattery. Flattery is cheap and insincere. It's telling someone exactly what they think of themselves. Appreciation is genuine. Carnegie says the big secret of dealing with people is our deep, burning desire to be appreciated. We crave to feel important. The need to feel important is what separates us from the animals. It's what built our cities and our civilizations. Think about the last time someone genuinely thanked you for something specific. Not just a casual, good job, but a, hey, I really appreciated how you handled that difficult customer this morning. Your patience and calm demeanor completely defused the situation. That kind of appreciation sticks with you. It makes you want to do an even better job for that person. The practical takeaway is simple yet powerful. Look for opportunities to give genuine, specific praise. Thank your partner for making dinner. Acknowledge your employee for staying late to meet a deadline. Tell a friend you appreciate their advice. Do this sincerely, and you will instantly become someone people value and want to be around. The third technique is arousing the other person an eager want. This is the culmination of the first two. It's about seeing things from the other person's point of view and framing your requests in terms of their benefits. You can't make someone do something unless they want to do it, and they will want to do it if they see what's in it for them. Let's say you want your son to stop smoking. Instead of lecturing him about health risks he might not care about right now, you talk about what he does care about. Maybe he's on the basketball team. You could say, the coach was mentioning how lung capacity is the first thing to improve when you quit. You'd be able to run the court longer than anyone by the end of the season. You've aroused an eager want to be a better athlete that is more immediate to him than a distant health concern. The takeaway, before you ask for anything, pause and ask yourself, how can I frame this so the other person sees it as an opportunity to get what they want? Part 2. 6 ways to make people like you. This section is all about building genuine likability. It's how you become a person others are drawn to. The first rule is perhaps the most important. Become genuinely interested in other people. You can make more friends in 2 months by becoming genuinely interested in other people than you can in 2 years by trying to get other people interested in you. People are not interested in you. They're interested in themselves. So if you want friends, put the focus on them. Ask questions. Listen. Think about the most charismatic person you know. Chances are, when you talk to them, they make you feel like you're the only person in the room. They ask about your life, your opinions, your stories. They are genuinely interested. The takeaway, shift your focus from how am I coming across to I wonder what their story is. Be curious. Rule number 2, smile. A simple smile says, I like you. I'm glad to see you. I'm happy to be here. It's a simple, powerful signal of warmth and acceptance. A smile over the phone can even be heard in your voice. Your takeaway is make a conscious effort to smile more. It costs nothing but enriches everyone who sees it. Rule number 3, remember that a person's name is, to that person, the sweetest and most important sound in any language. A name is a core part of our identity. Remembering and using it makes a person feel seen and important. Forgetting it, or getting it wrong, makes them feel insignificant. When you meet someone new, make a point to use their name in the conversation. It's great to meet you, Sarah. Then try to associate it with something to help you remember. The takeaway is clear. Make the effort to learn and use people's names. It's a powerful form of respect. Rule number 4, be a good listener. Encourage others to talk about themselves. Listening is not just waiting for your turn to talk. It's actively engaging with what the other person is saying. Ask encouraging questions. Let them fully express themselves. Everyone loves a good listener because it gives them the gift of feeling heard. Next time you're in a conversation, try to listen with the goal of understanding, not replying. Nod. Ask follow-up questions like, what was that like for you? Or tell me more about that. The takeaway is give people the gift of your full attention. It is a rare and valued commodity. Rule number 5, talk in terms of the other person's interests. The royal road to a person's heart is to talk about the things they treasure most. If you're talking to a parent, ask about their kids. If you're talking to a gardener, ask about their roses. If you're talking to a traveler, ask about their favorite destination. Do a little homework before a meeting or a social event. What are their passions? The takeaway is find their interests and make them the topic of conversation. You'll instantly become a brilliant conversationalist in their eyes. Rule number 6, make the other person feel important and do it sincerely. This rule sums up all the others. Every interaction is an opportunity to affirm someone's value. Thank them, acknowledge their contribution, defer to their opinion. Part 3, how to win people to your way of thinking. This section moves beyond likability into the realm of persuasion. How do you get people to agree with you without creating an enemy? The first principle here is the only way to get the best of an argument is to avoid it. You can't win an argument. If you lose, you lose. If you win, you make the other person feel inferior, hurt their pride, and make them resent your victory. So you still lose. It's a lose-lose scenario. If you feel an argument brewing, the best thing you can do is simply avoid it. Disagree gracefully without being disagreeable. Say, that's an interesting perspective. I hadn't looked at it that way. Let me think on that. The takeaway? A man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. Don't argue. Principle 2. Show respect for the other person's opinions. Never say, you're wrong. Telling someone they are wrong is a direct attack on their intelligence, pride, and self-respect. It will only make them want to strike back and defend their position even fiercely. Instead of saying you're wrong, try a more diplomatic approach. I thought something different, but I may be mistaken. I often am. Let's look at the facts together. This disarms the other person. The takeaway? It is impossible to underestimate the destructive power of the phrase, you're wrong. Eliminate it from your vocabulary. Principle 3. If you are wrong, admit it quickly and emphatically. When you admit you're wrong, all the reason and fight goes out of the other person. It takes the wind out of their sails. It allows you to take control of the situation and frame it as a mutual search for a solution, rather than a battle. If you make a mistake at work, don't make excuses. Go to your boss and say, I made an error on the Smith account. It was my fault. Here is exactly what happened, and here is my plan to fix it. This demonstrates integrity and earns respect. The takeaway. Be quick to admit your own mistakes. It's a sign of strength, not weakness. Principle 4. Begin in a friendly way. Your initial approach sets the tone for the entire interaction. If you begin with an attack or a demand, you trigger immediate resistance. If you start with a friendly, open demeanor, you create a cooperative atmosphere. The takeaway. Always start conversations, especially difficult ones, with a smile, a kind word, and a friendly tone. It paves the way for a positive outcome. Principle 5. Get the other person saying yes, yes immediately. Begin by emphasizing the things on which you agree. Keep highlighting those common goals. Get them saying yes to a series of small questions before you get to the main point. A person who is saying yes is in a receptive, open-minded state of mind. The takeaway? Frame your discussions to find areas of agreement first, build a foundation of yes, before you approach a point of potential no. Principle 6. Let the other person do a great deal of the talking. Don't try to dominate the conversation. Let them talk themselves out. They will often arrive at the conclusion you wanted them to reach. And because it was their idea, they will believe in it much more strongly. The takeaway: ask questions and let the other person feel like they are doing most of the talking and discovering the ideas themselves. Principle 7. Let the other person feel that the idea is his or hers. People have more faith in ideas they discover for themselves than in ideas handed to them by others. So instead of giving direct orders or stating your plan, guide them with questions so they arrive at the conclusion themselves. Instead of saying, "We should do X," try, "What are your thoughts on how we might solve this? What if we tried something like X?" The takeaway: people believe most strongly in the ideas they author. Be the guide, not the commander. Principle 8. Try honestly to see things from the other person's point of view. This is empathy in action. Before you judge or make a request, sincerely ask yourself, why would they act that way? What are they feeling? What do they need? The takeaway: make a habit of walking mentally in the other person's shoes. It will transform your ability to communicate and connect. Principle 9. Be sympathetic with the other person's ideas and desires. People crave sympathy and understanding. A phrase like, "I don't blame you at all for feeling the way you do. If I were you, I would undoubtedly feel the same way," is like magic. It completely disarms people. The takeaway: validate people's feelings first. Before you try to solve a problem, show that you understand and sympathize with the emotional state. Principle 10. Appeal to the nobler motives. People like to think of themselves as honest, fair, and responsible. So frame your requests in a way that appeals to these higher ideals. Instead of, "You need to sign this contract," try, "Based on your reputation for fairness, I know you'll agree that these terms are just." The takeaway: people will often rise to the noble motive you assign to them. Principle 11. Dramatize your ideas. Simply stating the truth isn't always enough. You have to make it vivid, interesting, and dramatic. This is the power of storytelling. The takeaway: don't just present cold facts. Bring your ideas to life with stories, examples, and enthusiasm. Principle 12. Throw down a challenge. For people who are motivated by achievement, the appeal of a challenge is irresistible. The chance to prove their worth, to excel, to show what they can do. The takeaway: when dealing with capable, motivated people, don't just ask them to do a task. Challenge them to excel at it. Part 4. Be a leader. How to change people without giving off offense or arousing resentment. This final section applies the principles to leadership, whether you're a manager, a parent, or a teacher. The first principle is, begin with praise and honest appreciation. It's always easier to listen to criticism after we've heard some praise. Start with a genuine compliment. The takeaway: the sandwich method works. Praise, then corrective feedback, then praise again. It makes the criticism palatable. Principle 2. Call attention to people's mistakes indirectly. Never use the word "but" after praise, as it erases the praise that came before it. Use "and" instead. Or simply talk about the mistake without directly pointing a finger. Instead of, "You did a great job on that presentation, but the financials were wrong," try, "You did a great job on that presentation. And if we double check the financial figures for the next one, it'll be absolutely perfect." The takeaway: correct others in a way that doesn't bruise their pride. Principle 3. Talk about your own mistakes before criticizing the other person. Humility is disarming. Admitting that you too have struggled with something makes your criticism feel like helpful advice from a fellow traveler, not a condemnation from on high. A manager could say, "I remember when I was first learning this software, I made the exact same error. Let me show you the trick I learned to avoid it." The takeaway: lead with your own fallibility. It creates a safe space for learning. Principle 4. Ask questions instead of giving direct orders. No one likes to be ordered around. Asking questions gives a person a sense of choice and dignity. It makes them feel like they are participating. Instead of, "Get me that report by 3 p.m., try, "Do you think you could have that report to me by 3 p.m.? The takeaway: Frame directives as questions or suggestions. It fosters cooperation. Principle 5. Let the other person save face. Never embarrass someone, especially in front of others. Nothing destroys loyalty and initiative faster than public humiliation. The takeaway: if you must correct or discipline someone, do it in private. Protect their dignity at all costs. Principle 6. Praise the slightest improvement and praise every improvement. Be hearty in your approbation and lavish in your praise. People thrive on encouragement. It gives them the fuel to keep improving. The takeaway: be a noticer. Catch people doing something right and praise them for that. It will reinforce that behavior far more effectively than punishing what's wrong. Principle 7. Give the other person a fine reputation to live up to. If you want someone to improve in a certain way, act as if that particular trait were already one of their outstanding characteristics. Tell a child, "You're such a thoughtful and tidy person," and they will start to live up to that reputation. Tell an employee, "You're our best troubleshooter when it comes to client complaints," and they will rise to the challenge. The takeaway: people will often do everything they can to prove you right when you express faith in their abilities. Principle 8. Use encouragement. Make the fault seem easy to correct. Make the goal seem achievable. Don't magnify the error, minimize the path to fixing it. This is a common mistake, and it's an easy fix. Here's how we do it. The takeaway: build confidence by making corrections seem within easy reach. Principle 9. Make the other person happy about doing the thing you suggest. This is the ultimate leadership principle. It ties back to arousing an eager want. Frame requests in terms of the benefits to them, whether it's a bonus, recognition, a sense of accomplishment, or simply your gratitude. The takeaway: always connect the task to the person's own wants and needs. Make them want to do it. So, why did Dale Carnegie write this book? His purpose was not to create a manual for manipulation. It was quite the opposite. He wrote it to give people a practical, actionable guide to escaping the prison of self-interest. He saw that loneliness, frustration, and failure in business and life often stemmed from a single source: a preoccupation with oneself. His ultimate goal was to teach people how to shift their focus outward, to genuinely connect with others, and in doing so, build a richer, more successful, and more fulfilling life. The book's real meaning is that success is a byproduct of making others feel successful. Influence is not about taking, but about giving. Giving attention, giving appreciation, giving dignity. In conclusion, the lessons of Dale Carnegie are timeless because human nature is timeless. We all want to feel important. We all want to be heard and appreciated. This summary has given you the key principles. Stop criticizing. Start appreciating. Become genuinely interested in others. See things from their point of view. Make them feel important. Rouse an eager want. These are not just techniques, they are a new way of being in the world. But this knowledge is useless without action. It's not enough to just listen and agree. The real change happens when you apply it. So I challenge you. Your call to action is this. Pick just one principle from this summary. Just one. Maybe it's to give more sincere appreciation. Maybe it's to listen more and talk less. Maybe it's to remember to smile. For the next week, focus all your energy on applying that single principle in every interaction you have. Watch what happens. See how people respond differently to you. Feel the change in your relationships. This book has sold millions of copies because it works. It can transform your career, your friendships, and your family life. But you have to take the first step. Start today. Make someone feel important, and watch your world begin to change. Thank you for listening to this audiobook summary from Audiobooks in Minutes. Remember, every minute counts, and we're here to help you make the most of them. See you in the next video.